No, 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 no. Will you shut the fuck up?
Last night at midnight, Dave Chappelle released, what is it, like his fifth or sixth stand-up special in as many years, called The Closer. Absolutely on point as usual. Chappelle, I don't watch a lot of stand-up specials, but I've seen all of his, all the way back from Killing 'Em Softly back in the day up to recently. Chappelle has always delivered on stand-up and really never pulled any punches, which is exactly why social media is melting down today, because he pointed out, well, several very poignant things, very accurate things. And we live in a world where if you point out things that are accurate and true, and it makes anyone uncomfortable, this is a cancelable offense. This is a meltdown scenario. And this isn't the first time Chappelle has had to deal with this. Fans are now sharing. Fans react to Dave Chappelle's Netflix special, The Closer. On a scenic journey through country back roads with rolling green hills and a vibrant pasture, Chappelle drives in an old red truck. You see Chappelle then touches on many things. I'll just skip ahead. Racism, identity, LGBTQ community stuff, and more, which was directed by Emmy winner Stan Lathan, who has filmed all of Chappelle's prior Netflix specials. The 48-year-old comedian announces the special will be his last one for a while, as his contract with the streaming giant is coming to a close, and he cracks a few jokes about contracting the coof and getting poked. But Chappelle still didn't shy away from his political views, stating his opinion, noting that the trans community wants him dead after he was accused of making phobic jokes over the years and subsequently canceled. Any of you who have ever watched me know that I have never had a problem with trans folks, he says in the special. If you listen to what I'm saying, clearly my problem has always been with white people. Yet he continues to make jokes about trans women and not being real, defending J.K. Rowling's remarks, and qualifying it by talking about Daphne Dorman, a white trans woman who was a fan of his. He discusses her self-deleting, revealing that he has started a trust fund to pay for her daughter's college education, notably that he won't be performing any more LGBTQ jokes until we are both sure that we're laughing together. But earlier this year, Chappelle bashed late night skit show Saturday Night Live for not being woke enough, while followed up by saying no one can be woke enough. I'm torn because I like a warrior for good cause, but I'm really into tactics, the comedian said about Elon Musk's 2021 hosting gig on SNL and the backlash that ensued. If you continue with this tone, even if you're right, it'll be very hard to hear. The Netflix special comes after the revival of his Chappelle show on Netflix this year, after he'd asked for it to be removed and then asked for reinstallment. The final credits for The Closer show a montage of moments capturing Chappelle with a variety of notable people: Bill Murray, Dave Letterman, Bill Burr, to name a few, including Norm Macdonald, who passed at 61. For Norm, the caption read on the screen. Now, you have, back in 2019, Chappelle's Netflix special may be the most politically incorrect comedy show ever. This is back Sticks and Stones 2 years ago. The Grammy Award winner lampoons the LGBTQ community as alphabet people, makes fun of Anthony Bourdain's self-deletion, and defends several famous men against claims, including Michael Jackson and Louis C.K. I don't believe these MFers, Chappelle said of Jackson's accusers in the HBO documentary. I know it seems harsh, but somebody's got to teach these kids there's no such thing as a free trip to Hawaii. Again, you have to know the difference between, making a joke and necessarily outright defending somebody, right? But the special last night has people losing their minds again. Chappelle says he's a TERF and is quitting LGBTQ jokes in Netflix's The Closer. The Netflix's comedy's 9th stand-up special, and 6th for Netflix, is his most incendiary, troubling, and unapologetic one yet. In the early hours of Tuesday morning, Chappelle dropped The Closer, his 9 stand-up special and 6th overall for Netflix. The hour-long set was recorded at the Fillmore in Detroit. Everyone have a seat, be comfortable, relax. I gotta tell you, let's go, let's go. Chappelle, sporting a perfectly manicured suit, white sneakers, tells a raucous crowd at the start. The 48-year-old legend then adds, I need you guys to know something. I'm going to tell you the truth and don't get freaked out. This is going to be my last special for a minute. Later explaining that The Closer will complete his body of work for the streaming giant. Once the applause dies down, Chappelle dives in, tackling the coof in his own battle with it back in January. I don't want you to worry about me. He says, I walked in the doctor and give me the third best option. I'll have what the homeless people are having. So far, so good. I don't know if you've heard the news. I did get the coof. Chappelle further admits that he didn't, quote, get sick at all from it, in fact, calling himself the Magic Johnson of the coof. But he did get stressed out about watching videos of so many black people beating up Asians on the streets during the lockdowns. Before cracking, I couldn't help but feel like when I saw these brothers beating Asians up, it was probably what's happening inside my body. Over the course of The Closer, which is directed by Emmy, so addressing the LGBTQ community directly, Chappelle says that he comes out in peace while wishing to negotiate for the release of DaBaby, the chart-topping rapper who made some phobic comments during his set in Miami's Rolling Loud Festival back in July, before expressing how jealous he was of the progress that the LGBTQ community made compared to black people, and recounting the time when gay white men called the police on him in Austin after Chappelle confronted a man about filming him and his wife in a bar. He then clumsily segues into a troubling story about a supposed incident in which he says he beat up a butch gay woman for throwing a punch at him. The woman later, he claims, tried to sell the story to TMZ. I'm glad TMZ didn't believe that, because I didn't. I did pummel her. I'm not going to lie. It was her fault. I had no choice. There was more, of course, including Chappelle's weighing in on the annoying as F, in his words, ways Hollywood's white women have handled Me Too, arguing that the onus was somehow on Harvey's A-list victims to protect those under them on the call sheet from his bad behavior, and how the trans community wanted him dead for his habit of performing phobic jokes, offering up his evidence. A few times, angry trans people or allies have gotten in his face over said jokes. Any of you who've ever watched me know that I have no problem with trans folks. If you listen to what I'm saying, clearly my problem has always been with white people, he maintains. Chappelle then tries to convince his audience in the crowd and at home that he's never made any anti-trans jokes, requesting that the audience go back and revisit his specials. Most certainly has, and you can read a great trans writer, Samantha Allen, on it here. He defends J.K. Rowling against being canceled over phobic remarks, which he deeply misrepresents, before saying, I'm Team TERF, the team for trans exclusionary radical feminists, or feminists who are phobic and don't believe trans women are women. Gender is a fact, he reasons. Every human being in this room, every human on Earth, had to pass through the legs of a woman to be on Earth. That is a fact. Now I'm going to say trans women. I'm not saying trans women aren't women. I'm just saying that those clams they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not a clam, but it's beyond clam, or the impossible clam. It tastes like clam, but that's not quite what it is. That's not blood. That's beet juice. I mean, it's a joke. It's a fact. Is it uncouth for 2021? Yeah, but comedy has gone too far the other way. There was a recording, I think a few months ago, where Bill Burr basically admitted that for the past 3 years he's been self-censoring, and the person who got him to stop was in fact Dave Chappelle. He later tries to qualify his material by telling a story about Daphne Dorman. Until we were both sure we're laughing together, I'm not going to do any more jokes. I'm done talking about it. All I ask of your community, with all humility, will you please stop punching down on my people? Here, Chappelle is referring to black men he's previously cited in The Closer, DaBaby, Kevin Hart, and himself, who have been in the eyes, victimized, translation, missed out on job opportunities while remaining very rich and popular by the LGBTQ community for telling phobic jokes or making phobic comments. With that, he tossed the mic, drank in the applause, and walked off stage. Of course, people are angry about it. You know, here you see Dave Chappelle, DaBaby ending somebody's life wasn't as career ending as it was offending the LGBTQ community. He brings up the fact that DaBaby allegedly, I don't know this because I don't care about modern rap music. I think it's all garbage. He actually ended another black man in a Walmart. Didn't hurt his career, but he offended some gay people, and it did. He's not wrong. Far be it from me. Here, the disgusting comments. So the comments where I don't know exactly what DaBaby said, but he said DaBaby ending a man wasn't nearly as offensive as him going after the LGBTQ community, which torpedoes his career. A disparity Dave Chappelle said doesn't sit well with him. The comedian got a new stand-up special, and right off the bat, he starts making jokes about DB falling from grace after going on his phobic rant, which Dave notes might have been more of a cardinal sin than actually ending somebody's life. Of course, he's talking about the legal case DaBaby was wrapped up in some years ago when cop says he was involved in the deletion of someone at a Walmart, something DB himself has said was done in self-defense and for which he skated. Watch what Dave is going for here. He's suggesting that pissing off the gay community these days is a way bigger deal and could end your career faster than actually ending somebody. Well, he's not wrong. I mean, it's tongue-in-cheek the way he says it, but he does mean it. There is some truth to it. I think that kind of, when you talk about jokes, I think that you can make jokes at anyone's expense. I think that there are jokes, and then there are jokes that are like malicious and mean. And there's a line where a joke is like you're saying something horrible and saying it's a joke when really you mean what you say. I don't think Dave Chappelle is a hateful man, and I think that if you want equality, then that means you get to get made fun of. I'm all for treating people as equal, but what I'm not for is treating people as better than or above criticism or above ribbing in comedy sets. I think it all has to be okay, and I think most people in the LGBTQ community are on board with that. I mean, I enjoy Chappelle, and the guy rips on white people all the time. I mean, it's not, being white is not an orientation, but like, I don't really care. I don't think he deeply hates white people. If I did, then it wouldn't be funny. And ultimately, hopefully we don't lose Chappelle for long, because he's actually one of the few that will stand up against the mob. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.